And welcome, my friends. It is time for another Bad Crypto ICO Spotlight interview. Ain't that a mouthful? And looking a little travel wary over there by me is Mr. Wright. What's going on, Travis?
I'm looking travel wary. That's just, maybe my age is catching up. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm in Chicago in my hotel room, just checked in. It's like, hurry up, get in here. We got a show to do.
Right.
And so I just scurried. I scurried a little bit. I don't know that I've ever used that word on a podcast before. Scurried.
Well, and typically, people might have figured out the math on this. When we record an episode that doesn't have an interview, we usually do it in one sitting. But these interviews, we usually do at a separate time, which those of you who check out our YouTube channel, you'll see the Bad Crypto Extra. And if you're not afraid of, Halloween masks every day, that's what you get. You get to see us here. And and the guy who's on screen with us, who's looking a little like he's not so sure that he stepped into the right room. This is Mr. Ashton Addison, who is the CEO of EventChain, EventChain.io, a brand new blockchain cryptocurrency token thingamajigger designed to disrupt the ticket industry with smart tickets. And welcome, Ashton.
Hey, thanks for having me, Joel. Thanks, Travis.
It's our pleasure. So tell us about the EventChain and how it all works, right? Because we've all had experiences with companies like StubHub and Ticketmaster, and we've seen how robots are buying up all the tickets and making it generally a pain for people to try to get good pricing on tickets here. So what is EventChain and how is it solving? What are smart tickets and how is it solving some of the problems that people have to deal with?
Yeah, you know what? I feel you guys. Everyone has those ticketing issues, and every time you want to go to the concert, it's almost impossible to get a ticket without either the scalpers buying it up, or if they do buy it up, then you end up paying twice as much. So we're
twice as much, dude. I live in Colorado, and Red Rocks Amphitheater, arguably the best outdoor amphitheater in America. Tom Petty was here this summer, and I could not find a ticket in the cheap seats for less than $400. They were thousands for the close rows.
He's kidding. He was seeing Celine Dion.
I definitely go on. Even for Celine Dion, I've seen tickets go for as much as $10,000. For what? Just somebody buying it up and reselling it to you just so that they can make a buck?
That's those front row tickets at those big sporting events. They go for that. I mean, I know like during the World Series, people were spending like in Kansas City a couple years ago, they spent like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a front row ticket, behind home plate, which is crazy, especially when you see the regular value of it was like $1,000 for a World Series ticket, spending 20 times that.
Totally.
So everybody's familiar with this, and this is a problem. Is this the problem that EventChain is going to help solve?
Yeah. Well, we're going to use the power of Ethereum and the power of blockchain technology to put these tickets into smart contracts and record them and have more transparency from the venues and the artists, so we can see how many tickets there are, what the prices are, and we can lower transaction fees and counterfeit ticketing just through using distributed ledgers. So that's definitely the goal here.
It's a fascinating thing for me to think about this, right? So I'm curious about the nuances of this. So say, for example, are you going to be partnering with the artist directly? Are you partnering directly with the venues? Are you connecting or partnering with companies like Ticketmaster? How exactly does that work?
Yeah, you know what? We actually have the ability to make partnerships through all of these avenues. And while we are trying to disrupt companies like Ticketmaster, it is possible that they could utilize the blockchain system that we've created to still run their events and bring more transparency for the fans and lower the ticketing prices. However, we're aiming towards a more Eventbrite-like system where we're lowering the barriers to entry for smaller events and for individuals and for artists that just want to create a small event and try to make some money without having to go through the huge ticketing intermediaries. So we're definitely focusing on making the connection between artists and fans directly, in hopes of tightening the relationship between those two parties.
Well, walk us through that. Give us a scenario. You're an artist and you want to be able to use smart tickets with EventChain and bring those tickets to your fans. Walk us through. How does this work?
Yeah. So say you're a small artist, you're just running everything yourself. You're just trying to make a living and you want to create an event and sell tickets, but you don't want to have to get Ticketmaster involved and lose a bunch of your profits. You could go to the smart ticketing application on the desktop and create an event, set your times, set your prices, set your capacity in your venue, and then that would create a smart contract out of the event, which had a unique list of all the tickets available. And then through the web and through the mobile applications, any fans would be able to go and purchase tickets directly from that contract, send the funds through the blockchain to the artist directly, and then he would be able to get more of the profits that he deserves, and while the fans could have that feeling of actually giving back to the artist and knowing that the ticket that they're paying for is going towards what they want rather than.
How much does Ticketmaster take? When you say avoid the fees, how disruptive is this?
It's pretty disruptive. If we're talking American dollars, which will be the least amount of fees, you're looking at 2.5% plus 3.5% plus nominal fees of up to $20 per ticket. So we're looking at least 8% to 10% of the fees on top of your ticket.
And then you have the convenience fee, and then you have the handling fee, and then the extra handling super convenience fee, and then you have the printing fee, and then it's like ridiculous.
The fee to cover the fees.
Yeah, the fee.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of fees with ambiguous names that we're trying to figure out what we're still paying for when we just really want to reward the artist for the presentation that they're putting on.
That's true. I'm like, what do you mean the printing fee? Like, I'm printing it with my own ink and on my own. Like, how is that a fee? Like, the convenience for who?
I think that they may have stepped it a little bit too far with the printing your own ticket fee, but I heard that that's not implemented in every case nowadays. But that was the notorious print your own ticket fee.
One of these things I really like about this is, say, for example, like if you buy a ticket on StubHub, right? Or you buy it from a third party and then I'm printing it out. How do I know that he hasn't put it on StubHub and he hadn't put it on these other event ticket sites, or he has? As I'm always really curious whenever I buy one from the third party, I always make sure that I get to that event earlier than I normally would. That way I'm the first one in the door with the ticket. If somebody else has a duplicate, they're hosed, not me. And so now say is this a mobile app that you have? Now this ticket's on my mobile app and then it's tracked through the blockchain and people can see where that is on the open ledger, and I can see that nobody else has a copy of this. How is that going to fix counterfeiting, or is that something that this is aimed to work on?
Yeah, definitely. And you're right about the secondary market, getting to the show early to make sure that the ticket that you bought is a legitimate ticket, because it's pretty common practice for these scalpers to list their tickets on multiple secondary markets. And even if they are a legitimate ticket, if they're double selling the ticket and two people happen to buy it simultaneously, then one person's not going to be able to get into the event. So with the EventChain smart ticketing system, when you purchase a ticket using purely digital means, either through the desktop or on your mobile app, there will be a unique sequence number to that ticket. You will not be able to purchase it twice, just like how you cannot double spend a transaction on the blockchain. And the ticket will be rightfully yours, and you can be sure that that ticket is owned by nobody else and it is yours.
So sort of like Etherscan, right? You can take that code, send it over here, take a look at it, but it's going to be on your EventChain. That's kind of like what EtherScan does with transactions. You can see, oh, where's this traction? This did this. So we're basically going to be able to put that code into EventChain. It's going to say this ticket is legit. This person has it, or this unique ID has it, and you know that's you.
Exactly, right? It's sort of like a layman's version of a blockchain explorer. So you can see the transaction from purchasing the ticket on the blockchain, prove that it is attached to that smart contract event.
And the mechanism here is your token, which is EVC, EventChain. Get it, folks? And so you'll need to have these tokens in order to purchase tickets. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're building the smart ticketing system around bringing EVC into the main as a main transaction factor. So if you want to purchase tickets with the most benefits, then you're going to need to use EVC. However, we will need to also accept Ether, and eventually you will need to introduce Fiat payment protocols, gateways rather, through companies like Coin Payments. We can introduce Fiat payment to people that don't have blockchain experience, but we can still transfer that to altcoins and have them run through the blockchain so that we can transact
Travis,
with the low
that's
processing.
cool. I like that, because isn't that a great way, Travis, of introducing people to crypto, right? It's like, okay, we'll take your fiat and we will make it magic happen and transmutify it into EVC, and these tickets are going to magically appear in your account. And now they're getting exposed to blockchain. And I think we need more ICOs and more products that work like that in order to bring the masses to crypto.
Yeah, especially if you do something like this where you use fiat to buy it, and then that's when you have the fiat fees, right? You have to have, you're able to charge them like, oh, well, if you wanted to buy this with EVC, it's going to be, US $10, but since you're using fiat, it's going to be $17.50, and they're going to be like, what? This is ridiculous. And they're like, well, you better get yourself some EVC.
That is exactly right. When you do introduce fiat back in there, then you get further regulations, more costs, third-party processors, and people will actualize those benefits of using EVC when they realize that it is cheaper to use cryptocurrencies to buy tickets rather than using credit cards.
Right on. I mean, it makes total sense to me. This whole process seems to it's needed, right? This is an industry that vastly needs disrupting. Blockchain seems to be the technology that can do that. We need visibility and transparency into these tickets. Scalping is dangerous. Like you can't even really trust somebody who's standing out there with printed paper. It's like they printed it off of their printer at home. Like, hey, you need 2 tickets? I'm like, yeah, dude. I don't know how many times did you print that exact same ticket off and selling it to people? So I love it. I think it's definitely an area that needed some disruption.
Well, there's so much mystery behind tickets. There's so much lack of transparency. I mean, this has been, for me, 2017 was the summer of concerts. I have been to so many shows this year and, tried to snag up tickets for concerts, and, they go on sale. You don't know how many they're reserving for sale later. They're selling out right away. There's the bots. There's these probably banks of computers that are run by scalpers where they're trying to grab everything and then immediately they put them on sale in secondhand market. And it's not fair for the fans. I love this transparency of blockchain, and talk about that a little bit, Ashton.
Yeah, the transparency is really one of the keys to increasing the communication between the artists, the vendors, and the fans. We want to know, are the tickets actually sold out? Or, as you said, it always seems like the tickets sell out in the first minute, but then sure enough, the week before or the day before, a bunch more tickets got released. And it's like, well, was it actually sold out, or were you just withholding the tickets? And it seems like it's common practice in almost every event that the worst part about the event is trying to get a ticket for it. And
so true. The worst part of the customer experience is actually the acquisition of the ticket. I have a question. Tell us a little bit about your team. How have you structured your team? And maybe for other people who are trying to understand ICOs, that's one of the things that we always tell people is like, do your own due diligence. Make sure if you do decide to invest in an ICO, it's a company that's doing something unique. They're disrupting an industry in a unique way. They're solving a big problem, and they have a great team. So maybe tell us a little bit about what you're working with over there.
Yeah, for sure. I've gathered up like a really strong team with lots of software development experience already in booking solutions, very similar to the event booking application that we're working on. And the president and the vice president of the company actually have worked on software development booking scheduling system for the last 8 years. So I ported those guys over from the software development side. And then we needed to add blockchain integration to be able to introduce the Ethereum blockchain and have the transactions process on the back end on this application. So we have some blockchain developers from London that are really trying to make it so that the application is so user-friendly that people don't know that they're using the blockchain.
We like that.
Yeah, because if you're not a cryptocurrency person and you see these 0x something something transaction Ethereum, it's over your head. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to make everything in layman's terms, and we're trying to reach out to smaller artists and venues and individuals to lower the barriers to entry in emerging markets as well, so that we can create events as simply as possible, but utilizing the blockchain benefits.
As of right now, which we're recording this on, what is the date? It's September the
19th.
Yes, thank you. The 15th, you said?
19th.
What day is? I just got back from a 2-week run of Europe, so I'm still going on fumes on jet lag.
It's March 13th, Joel.
Yeah, what year is it?
2016.
You're currently in who's present? You're currently in phase 2 of the ICO, 46% complete. And those who participate, there's a bonus for joining. Is this an ICO that is open to United States residents?
Well, the ICO corporate structure is based in Singapore, and it's good because we investigated Canada, United States, Singapore to figure out who would be most accepting of these cryptocurrency projects arising. And we spoke with the Singaporean regulators, and they said it was best if we don't allow people from United States to participate. Mm-hmm. So in the token agreement, we have made it aware to United States that you shouldn't be participating if the token legislation in your jurisdiction doesn't allow it.
And how do people, are we talking about on a state-by-state basis, or is this a federal basis?
Mm-hmm. We've blanketed to a federal basis, and I do know that certain states like New York and Washington are, the regulations are sort of growing at different rates. Mm-hmm. So right now, those states are seemingly a little bit more restrictive with participating in ICOs, whereas states like Nevada seem to be more open to cryptocurrency. But for right now, we are leaving it to withhold people from the United States.
Okay, so, again, folks, this is still the wild, wild west. And you want to make sure you do your own due diligence on wherever you place your investments, because Travis and I are not financial advisors or even know what we're doing with our own money. This is the crypto age is an interesting time, and we're going to look back years from now and go, oh, we either saw the future and we were right, or man, what a mess that was. But I think both of us think that blockchain is so disruptive, and there's no stopping the blockchain train. Ashton Addison, CEO of EventChain.io. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was great.
Bad Crypto Extra, a BCE with Ashton Addison, CEO of EventChain.io. I kind of love how they're all IOs. Don't you, Travis? All these.
I do. Inside and out. I like it.
Is that what it is? I think they just dropped the C because otherwise
I think it's
.ico.
Right. I think it's Indian Ocean, actually. Indian Ocean.
So this is where we get all visual, so you guys can see the website itself. And
we love you guys. Mwah, you're gonna see us. Mwah.
This is where it's happening.
I'll never do that again.
Ashton, tell us what we're looking at here, and I will scroll around and poke on things. Especially, make sure you bring us into telling us about the demo and all that.
Definitely, yeah. So here we have the token sale page is live. We've already finished the first phase. It's really successful. We're almost 50% through phase 2, which is giving you 920 EVCs per Ether, which is doing really good so far. There's a lot of hype, and we're just trying to bring more awareness to make sure we can get people into the bonus before phase 2 ends. So we've given some simple instructions on how to participate. I've made a few videos myself walking through the process to make it easy for people. We've created a lot of promo videos, and I've actually, if you follow my YouTube channel, which has about 6,500 subscribers, I try to make daily videos on EventChain, just Ethereum news.
That doesn't look like you at all.
No, that's a YouTube ad, which I can get to click here. There we go. That doesn't look like you either.
You changed.
This is actually Box Mining, who's a YouTube peer who did a review on EventChain. I definitely recommend checking that one out. If you go back to the website and you click on the 4th video, you'll see my YouTube channel, which is called Crypto Coin Show. And that's where I give people an overview of the alpha, the product in general, and also just updates for ICOs that are relative to our industry, and just keeping up on the news in China and Russia and all these international crypto affairs.
We don't talk about China here.
No, I try to stray away.
Talk about China.
Here's and this is actually, we talked about this earlier in the show today, that even with everything that China has done with temporarily banning ICOs, and we've got some of the exchanges that are saying, all right, we're not going to exchange Bitcoin anymore. The market seems to have it all built in and is found a nice solid base, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. It just seems like every move by somebody else just brings opportunity for others. For instance, when NEO was starting to get banned, then all of a sudden the American exchanges were listing NEO right away. So, and then, the price corrects and almost instantly. So it just seems like if one country's going to make a bad move, the other countries are going to take advantage of it, and the crypto cannot be stopped.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We think about this and we look at it, we go, man, look at all of the different countries are doing different things, right? So if you talk about the financial base in the United States, you're talking about Wall Street, right? That's been the main place for it. And then in London, in the UK, it's the city of London, and right. But what we're seeing is this big shift happening with the countries that are embracing crypto. Those are the ones where the future is going to be. So, and you mentioned that you actually launched your ICO here in Singapore.
Yeah, no, it's great, and it was a great choice. Singapore is very progressive on cryptocurrencies. Even 2 to 3 months ago now, they announced they were going to tokenize the Singaporean dollar on Ethereum, private blockchain. But still, that's a very progressive move to make, and is one of the main reasons why we chose to base EventChain in Singapore.
Also a very beautiful city. I've been there and would love to go back again. So here we are.
Singapore is a country, not a city.
No, it's a city too.
Oh,
Singapore City?
Yeah. Well, it's just Singapore. It's a city and a country.
Oh, very nice. Okay,
It's
I stand
like
corrected.
Shimmer.
Feel free to edit that out.
No, we're leaving that.
You can drive across Singapore in less than an hour, but
Yeah.
it's very popular for crypto and for business, and surprisingly, the majority is English-speaking business.
Yeah.
So international affairs are more than welcome to join there.
Travis, you ought to know by now we only edit out my mistakes, not yours.
That's true.
So
I've noticed that. We need to get your hands
been
off of the editing and producing.
I've been editing it. So here on the website, this kind of breaks down how smart tickets work with EVC. And any of these that you want to hit up on here, or just give an overview, go for it.
Yeah, I think the main thing to get out of it is that when you're purchasing tickets and creating events using EVC, you're going to be saving a lot of money. You're pretty much, the transaction costs are going to be limited to the gas on the Ethereum blockchain, which is limited to no more than a few cents. But we also are implementing EVC into promotional and advertising, as well as API distributed access, so that artists and venues can host the ticketing infrastructure on their site and make it so that less traffic goes to that one centralized ticketing retailer, in hopes of lessening the bandwidth and allowing more people to get tickets without being restricted from too many people going to the site at the same time.
I just clicked on your alpha version, and I don't want to go there if it's not quite ready yet, but can I go ahead and can we test this right now?
Definitely, yeah, we can test it.
Okay, so tell me what to do.
Yeah, so if we go to the top, you can log in and create any username and password. It can just be random, and you'll get an account. And then that will start allowing you to create events on your own.
All right.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and log in, and then click on your
RoboCop. I love that movie.
Click on Bad Crypto, and we can create an event. So
we have the Tiger. We have the launch event here. This is
yeah, that's the launch sounds pretty appropriate. So yeah, essentially right now, we can create just an event title, the venue name, the dates, and then when we implement this, it will actually create a smart contract on the Ethereum testnet.
Clearly, venue is in Singapore.
Okay, so we're going to set the date. This happens on the 30th. It's going to be a big deal. And there's only one ticket, and it's going to be 10,000 EVC.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Get one.
That's exciting.
All right, we'll make 10 available because if you notice, Travis,
it's coming to Travis's house.
It's at your place.
It's nice. I saw that. It's so lovely.
So one per person, and then so you need to have at least 10,000 to be able to buy a ticket, right? Oh, can't do that. Okay, 500.
Okay. Let's leave the EVC balance at 0 for now for required, because and then I'll show you how we actually get some EVC tokens. Okay, so you actually need EVC to create the event. So if you go up to the top of the page, we can get you some free EVC. If you click on the testnet faucet, you'll be able to get some. Just go ahead and click on the green faucet there.
Okay.
You'll be able to get some ethers and some EventChain tokens.
Oh, look, here it comes.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, you just got 3 ether. That's the easiest way to get ether ever. Go ahead and transfer that over to my Coinbase.
This broadcast is over. I'm just going to sit here and click all day long. I've got a new job.
Oh my God, we're getting rich, bro.
Whoa,
this is awesome.
Ka-ching, baby. Okay.
If only the faucet worked on the main net.
All right. Here we go.
Man.
All right, now let's create our voting event.
Whoops. Okay, so there we go. We're going to pick this airplane, fly with Travis. Travis's private jet in.
I'm so baller these days. I don't know.
And this happens on the 30th. Fancy. There's 100 tickets, and we'll go ahead and say it's 10 per. I can do a little thing here where I can adjust that, and then 5.
It's $10. 10 EVC.
Here we go.
So cheap to fly with me these days.
Oh, here we go. Event created. Fly with Travis. on his
Come
private jet.
fly with me, come fly away.
And now I can buy tickets.
Go ahead and buy the first ticket, and so you can get in the co-pilot seat.
No, Joe can't come to this.
So you can see that we have it denominated in EVC, but also Ether,
Pay with any currency. Very nice.
American dollar for those layman's. So
There's my ticket.
So this is actually a legitimate ticket with a QR code that goes to the Ethereum blockchain testnet smart contract address of Travis's flying event. So there you have it.
So where exactly does that go? That goes in the mobile app, or that goes? Are we going to email that to me also?
Yeah,
or
definitely.
where all is that going to be looking?
You'll have it on your phone. If you did purchase it on the desktop, it'll be emailed to you. If you purchase it on the mobile app, it'll be in the app.
Very cool. And in the upcoming version, you'll be able to get a refund on the ticket or resell it. And when you're talking about reselling, how do you control the scalping issue?
Yeah. So the system actually is integrating modular options for the artists and the venues, so that if they want to allow a free market and have scalpers on the secondary market, then they can allow that. But a lot of artists have been speaking out about overpriced tickets and people not being able to get tickets. So there actually is the option for venues and artists, if they want to set a maximum markup, say 25% maximum or face value maximum, they have that option for those tickets to that event. So per event, you will be able to get tickets depending if the artist wants you to be able to mark them up or not. That will eliminate scalpers for those artists.
That's beautiful. So we're looking here at the roadmap right now. And so you've got your team all together, you got your legal stuff all squared away, the platform design, then you've got the alpha launch.
Yeah, so right now, now that the alpha's finished and the community's been testing it out, the token sale's gone live. Really, we're just trying to get these partnerships to be able to expand more rapidly. So this iFlyer partnership that we just secured with Japan is actually a partnership with iFlyer.tv, and they do over 5,000 events per month, and they have 85,000 artists, and they want to fully use EventChain smart tickets into their system that they're already using. So this has actually brought a lot of awareness to blockchain from people that already know about iFlyer. In fact, Sony Music is backing them, and they've had VC interest in iFlyer since they announced that they're looking at doing blockchain. So this is just one of the partnerships that we're securing in Asia to try and expand more rapidly. But we're also looking at more partnerships in Europe and in Africa, and of course in North America. So that's one of the main things that we're working at right now, to bring awareness and bring a customer base that's already using a ticket system to implement blockchain ticketing easier.
That's excellent. And it looks like you're going to try to have EVC available on exchanges by Q4 of 2017, get a beta out there by Q2 2018, and then you hope to have a public launch by fall of 2018.
Yeah, that's the goal. We're on track to meet all our deadlines, so that's super exciting. And we're just pushing harder every day, and the awareness is spreading in the ticketing industry. More people are realizing that blockchain is the solution to solving these issues. So we're well on our way.
Love it.
It is a problem that needs to be solved. I was just looking up, Bruno Mars is coming to Denver to play at the Pepsi Center on October 30th, and it was scheduled way earlier in the year. Couldn't get tickets then. Still looking $250 minimum to be able to sit way up in heaven for the show, and I want a solution that will be for the fans. and for the musicians, and not just all about the money grubbers out there. So Ashton Addison, CEO of EventChain.io, thanks for joining us on the show and for this Bad Crypto Extra.
Thanks for having us, guys. It was great to talk.
Information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.